Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of What I Think Is Bullshit. And I bet you guys weren't expecting another one, were you? Yeah, I kind of stopped doing the bullshit rants after, my Let's Play started kicking up. And then I just started doing random shit like saying how many subscribers I had and junk like that. And basically, my bullshit rants kind of got thrown aside. Well, I'm deciding to revitalize that now. Because now I have a new rant. It's another DBZ rant because the first one, which actually for some reason wasn't counted as one of my bullshit rants, was on the fanfics. Well, now I'm actually doing it on how lazy some of the creators of DBZ were. Now what I noticed is as the DBZ storyline was starting, it was actually pretty good. I liked the way they did everything. The whole Saiyan thing, Goku's a Saiyan, even though probably a lot of people saw that coming because he has a monkey tail, so that kind of tells you something right there in the beginning of Dragon Ball even. Basically, how it was supposed to be was that when Goku finally reached Super Saiyan, it was supposed to end there, but fans wanted it to continue, and so the Cell Saga was made, or whatever you want to call it. Android Saga, I don't know. But, yeah. And then basically the series was supposed to end when Gohan reached Super Saiyan 2. But that did not happen either. No, the fans wanted DBZ to continue. So, they made the Majin Buu Saga. Well, that's when they started getting lazy. Well, basically what they pretty much said was, they need a new Super Saiyan form, because Buu was way too tough. Now, I will admit that the fusion was kind of unique. Well, a little. I mean, some fusion has already been done, but like in other shows and junk like that, but it was okay. But it's the Super Saiyan 3 that gets me. I mean, okay, Super Saiyan was okay. He gets spiky gold hair. Not all the hair stands up, but a good portion of it does. Mainly around the back. Usually the front of the hair kind of sticks down. It was okay, and he has like a golden aura, all that crap. Then Super Saiyan 2 rolled around. Basically it's the same kind of style, only most of the hair now is actually sticking up with, strangely, one strand, usually sticking down around the forehead. And they get lightning now. Now when they made 3, I have a strange feeling that they used Raditz as a reference. Why? Well, just take a look at him. I mean, his hair pretty much touches the back of his leg. I mean, that is some long hair. But see, this is kind of where the laziness kicked in. What they basically did was, they thought, well, we're going to need a new Super Saiyan form because Majin Buu is way too tough for even 2. And so, they pretty much looked at Raditz and said, hey, what about this guy? We haven't used him in a while. And people kind of looked at it probably, and then they said, you know what we could do? We can make him a Super Saiyan. But wait, Raditz is dead. How can we make him a Super Saiyan and at the same time make him a good guy? Well, that's actually not what they were aiming for. What they were actually aiming for was to have Goku steal Raditz's hairstyle. Basically, when Super Saiyan 3 was made, his hair would grow to the length of Raditz. The only difference is that his hair becomes gold, spiky, well, that's spikier than Raditz anyway, and he would strangely lose his eyebrows. Now, I don't really understand what the eyebrows was for. I think that's their excuse of where all the extra hair is going. So their eyebrows disappear to kind of, I don't know, contribute to the hair growing on their head or something. I don't know. All of the transformations was okay until they got the 3. That whole eyebrow bit just kind of confused me. So yeah, that kind of starts their laziness. It's not too lazy, but it's enough to get it going. Eventually, that's where Dragon Ball Z finally ended. After so many times that the fans wanted to continue, Majin Buu is where they just cut it. That was it. It was done. And then they made GT. The one that no real Dragon Ball Z fan liked. unless you were really hardcore and just loved everything about it, or whatever. I don't know. Now GT was when they got kind of like really lazy. I mean, the fight scenes were no longer interesting. Most of it was revolving around simply blasting your enemy into oblivion, or just the common crazy punching and kicking routine. That's all it really was. There was hardly any time for like crazy combos like they usually do, such as maybe punching somebody and then kind of reappearing above them and kind of kicking them into the with your foot right in their stomach or something and slamming them to the ground. No, most of the time it revolved around blasting them over and over again, or it just involved just kind of punching them a few times. I mean, the fight with Super Saiyan 4 versus Android or Super 17, all he did was basically just start blasting the hell out of him, and then Goku kind of attacked, and I think he just punched him a couple times. I think he only punched him once, and then I think Super 17 just kind of rammed him into a wall, and that was the end of it. That was kind of stupid. I mean, come on, you can do better fights than that. See, Z was where everything See, Dragon Ball was okay fighting. Z is where the fighting got really intense, and then GT is basically where they just kind of dropped it and just went more simplified. DBZ fans do not like simplified fights. They like total brutal ass kickings. So what the hell? And speaking of Super Saiyan 4, this is where they got really weird with it. I wouldn't exactly call it lazy, but it was weird. I mean, basically now they're just becoming so lazy that they have to bring up the whole Great Ape thing again that they did in Dragon Ball. I thought that was done with. At the beginning of Z, it was done with, after the Saiyan Saga was done. Basically, it explains how they turn into a golden Great Ape, apparently. Somehow it's golden now. And then somehow, after that transformation goes away, they magically get a fourth form without even really trying. I mean, 1, you had to get angry. 2, I think you had to get even angrier. 3 was just something that you had to kind of find on your own. And then 4, you just magically get after you turn back from the golden Great Ape, which didn't exactly make sense. It pretty much just happened after you somehow regrow your tail that you're only supposed to be allowed 2. 1, which is your starting tail, and then 2, which is your last tail, apparently. But somehow it got cut off, and yet Goku still had another one. Same thing with Vegeta. Because after your second tail is gone, you're not supposed to have another one. It stays gone. But, yeah. Well, whatever. That's just how it is. This has been Magnasonic 3000 with another bullshit rant. So, yeah. Guess I'll see you guys.